Hello there. Today is Saturday, the 15th of October, 2022. I am John Anthony Francis Wilcox, and you know that by now, I'm sure. Um, should I say all those cliche things like give me a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, or whatever? Do it or don't. It's I'm not going to impose upon your life. This is my imposition on your life if you choose to watch me talking. So, what has this week been since we last talked? Um, done a bunch of work, a bunch of art. Pretty much do that every week, don't I? Um, I was going through some things during the middle of the week and came across some stuff I forgot I had. Um, a great old autograph picture of Mickey Rooney, one of Donald O'Connor, Genevieve Genevieve Bujold, and Ruby Dee and Edie Adams. They were in amongst some artwork, so that was cool to come across. Um, on Wednesday, I believe it was. Yeah, that sounds about right. My great niece Isabella came by and she brought me this old cookbook that I have in the other room that I didn't have the foresight to bring in here when I was filming this. Um, and it was really neat. It says it's a presidential White House cookbook, recipes, stuff. About 400 and something pages. The most of the art and the lettering is worn off the hardcovers. And how old, you ask? The photo inside showing you the current First Lady was Mrs. Roosevelt. Mrs. Teddy Roosevelt. Had a photo of her, a photo of Grover Cleveland's wife, and a photo of McKinley's wife. So, interesting. Looking through it, very fascinating in that some of the instructions are very non-specific. It doesn't tell you specific oven temperatures or times. Like I was reading this one for a peach meringue, and it was like bake it until the meringue gets this brown, and then let it sit this long. And then there was a recipe for something I'd never seen before called syllabub, which was like basically milk and sugar and red wine in specific quantities that you would pour back and forth between two bowls, the top one at a great height, so that they formed like a foamy, frothy thing. And I guess that was a dessert thingy in the day. Maybe it still is somewhere, and I've just never had it. Didn't interest me other than it was fascinating that it was in there. So looked through that, talking with my niece, great niece I should say. Great to talk with her as always. Um, Today there was a bit of a tussle with. There's a guy that has been across the street with his 93-year-old mom, and he's not supposed to be there because he's always drunk, and he's threatening her. So that continues to go on. I don't know how many times they can throw him out, and he just doesn't stay away. I feel very sad for her. Poor 93-year-old woman. She shouldn't be worrying about such things. Very, very, very sad. Beyond that, what have I done? Again, I've been working. Oh, I've been here's our show and tell for the day. Give me but a moment because it's right here. I had to move something off it. I've been reading this book, Mosaic, from Amy Grant. Little Amy legs. Um, Very interesting book. I'm about halfway through, and it's reminiscing about her life. different aspects and different relatives. One of the things I found interesting where I'm like, gee, that has never been my specific life experience, is she has 1 million relatives and gets along with all of them. She's the youngest of 4 sisters. She gets along great with her sisters, or so she says anyway, and her folks and her aunts and her uncles and her grandparents and her nieces and nephews. And I never knew what that life was like, I must say, you know. So it's interesting. But it's an interesting read, and it sort of ties in some reminiscences, how they ended up as a lyric or not, you know. And I'm enjoying it. So, again, about halfway through, I'm sure that by the time you see my face again doing this in a week, I'll have long finished it. Um, Although, don't get ahead of yourself. So I made some nice raviolis at one point during the week. Um, Came out quite delicious. Uh, Not too complex plans this week, food wise. Some chicken, some. I think I'm going to do a ham steak. I have some beer battered fish fillets that I'll do with spicy fries, and some pasta, of course, some kind of rice dish. I got some stuff. I feel like having pancakes one night this week, so that'll be nice. And a big thing for me is those that know me, or where we've discussed this. Probably my favorite cartoon of all time was a Japanese anime based on one of my favorite mangas of all time called Urusei Yatsura. And the anime was in the early to mid 80s, and it ran a whole bunch of episodes. And they've just brought it back over in Japan, and it's also evidently showing on Disney Plus and Netflix and that kind of thing. Urusei. And I saw the first new episode, and it was pretty good. I didn't care for the contemporary music. The designs were nice, and it had a lot of the same spirit of the original. So hopefully it will bring it to a new generation of people. Um, but that was a pleasant thing to see. So I'm sure, as always, I'll think of so many things that I should have said today that maybe I'll remember to say next week. Look at all my hot peppers. Hot pepper shirt. I should wear this more often than I do. Hello to you all. Goodbye to you all. I love you all. Bye bye.